I don't mean to be dramatic, but it's I always tell my you'll be back bean. Like if someone comes in and is like, I can't believe this is going to work. Onion, garlic, a little olive oil in this bean. It gets big, fat, and juicy. It has just the right amount of texture, but the skin's thin enough so the pot liquor or bean broth, which to a bean freak is just as important as the bean, it's just unbelievable. And it's a great one. And plus it's amazing looking. And I have my two sons, 9 and 12, hand paint each bean. I think it's worth it. Like, they love it. So, no, also soaking. Well, for preparation, I don't soak at all. And, well, I do if I think about it. So on a Sunday morning, I would soak for about 2 to 3 hours. And I would use the same water. Because for every food scientist that says it gives you gas, there's another one that says that you're leaching out vitamins. And it's absolutely minimal, the difference you're making. In Mexico and India, they just cook them. But they're turning over beans too, so they know that they're fresh. The thing is, if you've been soaking them, you've taken that much longer too, so you might as well just, sometimes I think you just cook them. So with our beans, I know I do soak 2 to 3 hours. It does seem to help the texture a tiny bit. I budget 2 hours, and it's about an hour and a half to cook. I can put them in a crock pot in the morning, and by dinner time, they're perfect. I'm done. They're almost better in a crock pot because they're loving them all day, and they don't really need very help. But the problem with the crock pot and the pressure cooker is the pot liquor is kind of dead because there's no evaporation. So for the last hour, with the crock pot at least, I take the lid off and let it come to life a bit. And I've done it with a pressure cooker, but I'm not in love with it, and other people are. I think it's like shaking a martini. You know, it's too much once you stir it. I don't think you should pressure cook beans. So, yeah.
How do you feel about salting them?
Okay, we actually sell a salt from a 3,000-year-old mine in Oaxaca, of course. That, I feel like this week was saying, but this thing's called gradually. And it actually is high in bicarbonates that actually soften the beans, and you put them in right in the beginning. But you have to be careful because it can turn, our beans are so fresh they can fall apart. But for regular salt, I've salted up front and I've salted in the back. I've never had it affecting. But I'm so cheap and I'm investing all this time, I still don't believe it. And so I tend to salt 3/4 of the way through. There's a point when it stops smelling like mirepoix and all of a sudden it's smelling like beans. And they're still not done. And it's like, I've won. I beat it. I'm going to win. And that's when I salt. But the earlier you do it, the better, because obviously you're just going to get salted water and bland beans. So you want salt as soon as you can. Which is why they say they taste better the next day sometimes. Yes?
Steve, I am